In this video, I'm rolling with Avee and Danny again. Avee is a white belt. He's about 170 pounds, in his 20s, a young man. And I rolled with him the first time, very respectful. I rolled with him the first time about 6 months ago. So I wanted to see how much better he got in 6 months. And as you could see, he almost passed my guard there. I did a really decent recovery and did a butterfly sweep. Here he did a good hip bump. He's really bumping. And I was able to just go right to mount like I was riding a bucking bronco. Here we're resetting in the middle. So he already feels much more formidable than the first time. Here he's really doing a good job of making space to get out of mount. And then I kind of gave that position and went to a leg staple. So my leg is bent. And he did a good job of catching it there. So now we're resetting. See, he doesn't have a guard here, right? He doesn't have a closed guard. He doesn't have his foot on my hip. He's just doing wrist fighting. So I don't want him to stand up, so I pressed into him. In guard passing, it's easier to stand up in no-gi. It's easy to stand up in general. In a street fight, you're not even going to get a guard from somebody. He's just going to try to stand up. So here I'm pulling him away from some of the other guys. So the second round is with Danny. He's a young guy. He's 20 now. The first time I rolled with him, he was 18. It was a year and a half ago, and now he's a blue belt. And I always look forward to feeling someone's progress. Other people's jiu-jitsu interests me. It takes me no effort to notice it, so I just make a mental note. So here I'm looking to pass his guard. Again, he's doing a lot better than the first time. It's not like just running around him like he's nothing. I personally feel like you should be as good as him right now just to get a white belt. I think when you start, you shouldn't even wear a belt for the first few months. It tells everybody else you're brand new. Because a white belt, to me, needs to be earned. So there I demonstrated a footlock on him. I don't think I caught that during the roll. I think he was asking me about it. I don't have the sound on here because there was music playing, and they would hit me with a copyright strike. So here he's looking to make space. I jumped over his thigh. You see how my hips are above his thigh? That's a major goal for me. Because as you can see, I just passed his guard. Now I'm in north-south. He's framing, but I have my knee against his hip to prevent him from bringing his legs back in. There he did a big hip bump. I'm looking to threaten with the collar choke there, and then take the armbar. Again, if you watch the channel, I do this to everyone. Not everyone, but if I catch a submission, this is like one of my top submissions. I definitely don't do it to everyone. So Avee's really respectful, and he always has questions for me, and, I just, our schedules are different, so we don't have enough time together. So here he's trying to run around a little bit, use a little bit of his youthful athleticism. There he tried to lay on my thigh, but it ended up the same way. Kick, a butterfly sweep, right to knee on belly. And now I got my forearm across his face. He's trying to make space and get his knee in. One of my training partners didn't realize the camera was there. So here I footlock him. with the same footlock I've been catching everyone with. If your ankle goes above your knee, I could just grab it. I don't have to have my legs perfect or anything or an entanglement. I could just finish it right there. So that ends that round. And I figured I'd make it a 2-round episode. So here he's asking me what he could have done different. And I said, you know what? Let's just watch the video and we'll be able to tell from there. But I said, there was no glaring mistakes in what you were doing, which is pretty good for 6 months and says a lot about my academy. So here comes round 2. He's super respectful, 20 years old, in the prime of his life. That's my teacher. And another friend of his who they came up together, they got their black belts from Henzo like a million years ago, 15 years ago. They're both 4th degree black belts. And when I got there, they were rolling, which was super fascinating to me. Just to see the different techniques they were employing. I took some some photos of them. So there I did I tried to do a shin on his thigh sweep. I don't know if that's a waiter sweep. I'm not great with names, but he did a good job of preventing it. So here I keep switching back and forth, and there I went right to my tried and true tripod sweep, set it up off the spider guard. So I always try to, pretend I'm doing one thing to set up the next thing. So there I'm kicking off his hook, and then I'm sitting on it with my shin. There I'm threatening a toe hold, believe it or not. So it's causing him to stiffen that foot. Meanwhile, all he'd really have to do is put it on my hip, do something with it. If you leave your foot hanging there, especially against a footlocker, which I'm not, it's not good. It opens you up to be ankle locked and many other things. So here again, you see I'm stripping that hook very slowly, very incrementally. I don't want to run around. I like to grab the wrist from in between the legs and then staple the knee with my shoulder and pass. As you can see, the bottom leg is stapled. So if I could flatten the top. Again, this is more wear on him than it is on me. So the first time I rolled with him was a year and a half ago when he was a white belt. So he's much improved from then. Definitely a blue belt. So here I'm just playing. I was looking to get my arm through and go for like a calf slicer. I like the slicers lately. A great way to finish an armbar. Well, not finish it. So here I'm looking to just put pressure on his legs. Again, he's doing a great job. It's not like this is easy to run around. I'm trying to be slow and incremental, but he's really putting up a good defense. But as you can see, I just keep smothering and trying to make new angles with my body on his legs. So he's carrying my weight right now. See, he's trying to get up, and now I have that hook on his leg to prevent him from standing. Because if he stands up, I lose the ability to pass his guard, then I got to sweep him again. I feel like jiu-jitsu is about creating less work for ourselves, not more. And then it becomes who creates the least. A strange concept. So again, I'm looking to just slide by nice and easy. I have like a staple with my legs, and he's doing a good job of bringing his legs back in and forcing me to reset. Again, look, I'm going right to the pants. Now I'm thinking about going up the middle with my right knee. Now I'm looking to do like an over-the-top pass, like if I could just get my hips over his leg, but he's pushing me off. He felt that coming, and he's looking for my foot here. So he's thinking ankle lock. And once I realize that, I know I have to back out. So I'm trying to get off of his hook while controlling his hand so he can't use his hand to finish the ankle lock. And he uses that to come up for the sweep, which was really good. He's doing a good job peeling my De La Riva hook, but I have the spider guard. And again, I just switched to that. And I'm looking to do the knee up the middle pass. And now he's pushing me off to the side. Again, I'm not trying to stand up and run around his guard or do something that it would be considered in my mind my A game. I'm looking to do my experimental pass slow and steady, but he is doing a good job of preventing it. So that was really well timed. I spun him around and then I kicked his hook off to pass. If you want to rewind that, I did it pretty quickly. Again, very well timed. Here he's looking to spin back into me to get his guard back, and I'm just stopping him with my shin. There I jumped over to mount, but I still have my left foot in the middle. I'm not crushing him. I'm not like leaning my hip into him. I'm not trying to hurt him. I just want to contain him enough to when he moves, he puts himself in a position where I could submit him without a lot of effort. So there I switched back and forth. Side to side is always good, lateral movement. So there I did my usual step over, pretend I'm going for the choke, and when he fights it, take the arm bar, and he pushed me over, and normally I get the Americana off of that, but he did a good job again of defending. So now I kind of have it in my head that I want this Americana. Because I know I want him to reach with the other hand, but he's doing a good job. He has his elbows tucked, his hands together in an A-frame. That's exactly what he should be doing. So I'm starting to realize this. And then I was thinking about like Marcelo and Imanari, how he caught that north-south choke. So the reason why also the north-south choke is presenting itself here is he's not protecting his neck. See, when you have the A-frame and you're worried a lot about your elbows, you don't protect your neck. And once I see that, I go to the north-south. So he already is probably never going to get out from here because I'm starting to lower my ribs into the side of his face. Your body goes where your head goes. So first thing I want to do is push his head, make sure that his head could never turn back into me, and then I sink. There's two levels of sinking. One is here, and many times I get the tap right here, but if I don't get it, I just drop my head to the mat. And I kind of make it feel like his head's getting pulled off. So that was a Marcelo-inspired north-south choke that I did learn from him directly. And it was cool to see him use it on Imanari. And he's caught me with it, and it just feels like your head's going to just shoot off of your shoulders. And here he's always very respectful as well, and he asks me for like last-minute advice and little things that can help polish his game. But he's done everything really well. And I'm just complimenting him. I'm saying, you know, I just showed like the way he held his hands defensively for the A-frame. And he did a really good job of that. And then I said, you know, is there anything that you're working on that maybe you're having a problem with? And then I said also, he gives me the pass. So if I pass, he kind of just flattens out, and I feel like he's defeated. But really, when somebody passes, you should be turning and pressing into them. You don't want to just give them that, because you want to frame with your arms and then bring your knees back in. If you're just flat on your back, that's why a pin is so valuable in wrestling, because once you get somebody flat on their back, it's hard to come back from. So here I'm showing him the value of framing. See how I have my elbow to my knee to my leg. Elbow to knee to leg. So that way, if someone does pass my guard, they're going to get that next. That's my last line of defense before my guard is officially passed. And if you're flexible, you could get your knee up higher. Also, if you notice, I had my foot on my knee for support. So it's all connected, and it creates a wall, and it doesn't allow you to be flattened, because that's really the worst part of jiu-jitsu, getting smashed. But if you find value in my content, you want to help support the channel, I have an ex-martial link in the description. If you use code JITSOver50, anything you get off there is 15% off. Or you could just buy me a coffee. Both links are there. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe.